Hey guys and gals, Shane Stevenson here again at the Buffalo Naval Park, and for today's video, let's chalk this one up again to you see something every day, you don't see it anymore. And while Lucas came last week and we were doing some filming on the Little Rock, as he was disembarking, he said, "Oh, what about the prop guards?" And I said, "Prop guards? I know what prop guards are." But he was like, "You're missing one." And I said, "Oh, again, you don't see it after a while. You don't even notice it." And so this is a little video into the prop guards, specifically for the Sullivans. In my last video I showed that the prop guards were on the Little Rock, or at least on port. It's now gone, I verified it, and of course looking at starboard here, you can actually see, if I can zoom in right, where those prop guard mounts were. 1, 2, and 3. So for some reason, which I'm going to try to figure out, they were removed after 1986, because that picture I showed in the last video is from '86, but prior to today. But I want to show a real interesting photo here, and these are all digitized. Now, what are we looking at here? Okay, there's the Buffalo Skyway, we've got the Sullivans, we have the Little Rock, and I believe I've talked about this before, but they're in a very unique stern-to-stern configuration. So now this way is heading down the Buffalo River out to Lake Erie. This is upriver. So when the two ships arrived in July of 1977, this was their original configuration. Sullivans arrived first. They faced her bow going upriver. When the Little Rock arrived, say 11 days, 12 days later, they put her facing downriver. And then winter comes, they were working on the ships again for a full 2 years before we opened as a naval park. But for the winter, this was their docking position, stern to stern. If you look right there, you should be able to see the prop guard on starboard. All right, let's go check that out. Yep. Perfect. Just like the photograph shows. So, if that means that starboard was facing the river, port was bumped up against the pier. And what I believe is they cut the port side prop guard to nest us as close to the pier as possible. And then when we rotated after the 8 months, after winter happens, now it's spring of 1978, they rotate, so we are now bow to stern with the Little Rock, and then that's where we remain until we get nested and placed here. So, prop guard. And, you know, it's one of those things that you may or may not ever notice. I mean, of course, a lot of people would notice it. That's not what I mean. But you might think about it, and then 3 years goes by, and because you're looking at it every day, you don't really notice it like that. I actually should put a trivia question out for the staff. How many of the 4 prop guards are, well, now with 6, because if you're including the croaker, how many prop guards are actually remaining on board? I bet you we'd get a very wide, disparate set of answers, don't you think? You know what? I think so too. So we have evidence. We have evidence that they nested her pier side on port. And because the ship had just arrived, they were certainly beginning to do work. And therefore, they probably cut the port side props off at that time. And then they rotate, and therefore leaving the exposed port side without the prop guards. And again, this is a really nice picture because you can see the prop guard here on port. Oh, sorry. The prop guard on port on Little Rock. Again, now removed as well. Now she still has her props, so it's, you know, thinking in my head, I was like, okay, well, they removed the props from the Sullivans when I was initially thinking about this. Okay, they removed the props off the Sullivans, so why not remove the prop guards at that same time? Okay, well, no, because Little Rock still has all 4 of her props, but the prop guards are missing. So this is a nice view using not service photographs, historic photographs from her service, but using photographs as the ships arrived in '77 to what they look like today. So please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and I hope you enjoyed this little look at the missing prop guards. Well, you actually didn't look at them, but the story, potential story behind the missing prop guards for our vessels. And anyway, thanks so much.